decision paralysis, and it's intense. I started out saying I'm going to go to the beach because it's a Sunday, by the way, and I have absolutely no plans. Normally I have lots of plans, but I just didn't plan anything, and a part of that is because my social battery is just really low. I've had so many events recently. I was just hoping for like a quiet day, but like, I have ADHD. There is no such thing. Like, it just doesn't work for me, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna chill. And unless experiencing neurodivergent burnout, I can't really chill for the full day. And it's fine because like I have a dog, which means that I have to, you know, take him out for walks and stuff. Originally when I woke up, I was like, I'm gonna take Fox to the beach because I love the beach, he loves the beach. Obviously we have no other plans, so we're not in a rush. We could just take our time with it. However, I looked at the forecast and it is supposed to pour down with rain. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to not go to the beach and come up with plan B. But it's like, oh, get so bored of the same old places, same old dog walks, and it also makes it feel like a work day because everything's quite local. So it's like, I don't really want to be local, I want to go further afield. And then I realised that I have errands to run, and I'm like, do I really want to spend my Sunday running errands? And the thing is, it was forecast for rain, and this is the whole reason I decided not to go to the beach, and it hasn't rained. I've been stuck in analysis paralysis for 2 hours and it did not rain once. And I know that as soon as I think, right, okay, let's just go to the beach, I'll put my stuff on, I'll get there, and it'll absolutely pour down and we'll get soaked. I live in Scotland, I'm not scared of rain. Rain happens, like I always get rained on, but at the same time, I don't know, I don't want to feel cold in July. Days off can become really stressful when you have ADHD. People really enjoy days off and having nothing planned, and I'm like, what? This is debilitating. Like, I'm really struggling. I've spent 2 hours stuck. I'm stuck. Any other ADHD-ers spend as much time on the floor as I do. Can't even get dressed because depending on where I go, I would wear different clothes. So I'm stuck in my jammies. If I didn't have a dog, if I didn't have Fox, typically I would probably just give up and not do anything and just go into bed and cry. Like when I'm feeling like this. But I think that's what's great about having a dog. You just need to make a decision and go because he needs a walk, and I have that responsibility to take care of my little fluffy doggy. Gonna go to the beach and we're gonna wear a waterproof coat. If we get soaked, we get soaked. It took me 2 hours to come to the same conclusion and the same decision that I made 2 hours ago. You're going to the beach! Yay! I looked at the time on my dashboard and I got really excited because I was like, oh, it's a lot earlier than I thought, so we'll get a parking space. But actually the clock dashboard time is just really wrong. Absolutely soaked and drowned my foot going over this little river thing. Hold on, I'll show you. It looks super shallow, but it's like sinking sand ready to seep into my foot and it feels disgusting. Sensory nightmare. Like 12 PM and I haven't eaten yet, so once I make myself some food, we are going to talk transitions and post-grad life as an ADHD-er. Yeah. I also remembered, which I totally forgot about, we are going out for dinner tonight to a restaurant we haven't tried before. It's a new place, which apparently is very similar to one of my favourite ever restaurants. So I'm very excited, but I also don't want to fill up too much. Like, I'm not good at judging time. I'm very time blind as an ADHD-er, like super time blind. I can't even tell you. Most people think that's just about running late and like judging time, but it's also judging time for other things like eating. If I fill up now, is it going to last me until then? How many hours do I need and how full do I need to be now? Because I want to be super hungry. I want to have a good enough appetite to enjoy it and eat lots and lots of yummy food. So yeah, that was just a side note. So I definitely need to do more research into this, but it'd be interesting to see how many of you can relate to this. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or not. I'm assuming it's an ADHD thing, or maybe it's a personality thing. I don't know. So, as you can see, I've recently graduated. We still have the balloons. Oh, hang on. These are like still going kind of strong. I mean, they've definitely deflated. Those have been around 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks. Now, when it comes to exciting transitions, example, I'd say going into university. So that was a massive transition for me. I moved city, I went from full-time work to part-time work. I got new clients. I had to say goodbye to old clients. Every aspect of my life was a transition. However, I didn't really struggle with that because it was all exciting, it was all progress, and I was in control of it, and I felt like I was moving forward in life. The same cannot be said for coming out of university, because even though I know that obviously there was going to be an end point and I needed that end point and I wanted that end point, essentially it's out with my control. I'm not in control of this transition. Basically, my mental health just isn't the best right now. A lot has to do with the fact that I always like to be moving forward and progressing and moving on. I'm not very good at being still, staying at the same level, and I just feel like I have this degree now and it should be opening up so many doors, and don't get me wrong, it definitely has, but I'm not patient. I need things now, I need the immediate, and nothing's immediate. There's so much waiting, so much uncertainty, and I was actually prepared for this. I expected it. My partner, my friends, we would all talk about this in the lead up to graduating, that it is likely that I was going to struggle, because we all know I don't do well with A, transitions, but B, waiting, the unknown, things that most people aren't good at, but because of my ADHD, it's a lot in here. I've also spoken about how I am very rejection sensitive. Like, my rejection sensitivity is intense. It's likely along the way that I am going to experience quite a lot of rejections, because I'm aiming pretty high, and that's to be expected, but I know that it's not going to go down well. I know, in theory, all the right things to do. I know that I should be setting goals that are not academic or work-based, and even though I've kind of done that, I've not made any action on that. So I know there's certain hobbies that I want to get to a certain place, and I've got goals around those hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies, like most ADHD-ers. You know, there's actually things in my current jobs that I want to achieve. There's things I want to do. I'm ticking away at those, but yeah, I don't know. All of these things are just so much easier said than done, and then on top of that, I am completely burnt out. Like, if you've watched any of my previous videos, especially the one that's around my final exam, you'll know that my headspace was dreadful. Now, I have had a holiday since then, and you know, I have been doing things to help myself since then, so I'm definitely on the way up in terms of burnout. I think I've come out of that a little bit, but it's still lurking. So yeah, post-uni transition is not going well. It's pretty tough. I think a nice idea for now is to sit down and actually write down those goals and make some concrete plans and steps, because I think that'll help me, and that's probably a nice way to spend my Sunday.
I got a glitch. Oh, it just hit me now. I'm feeling this switch up. Flashing lights and muffled sounds. Tell me, what was in that stuff you gave me? I think I like it. In fact, it made me high pitched. It just hit me now. Said it's cool if you wanna get down, rapping with my crew. Yeah, there was. So if you wanna come flex round here, ooh, I think I'm ready now. I think I'm ready now. caught in a ditch. And now that I've come down, I'm on the fritz.
It's the next day and last night we just relaxed after getting home from our meal. It was a lovely meal, but the original place that's my favourite is much better. Normally I get really anxious at night time. That's when like my anxiety really kicks in the most, thinking about, you know, the day ahead and the week ahead. But last night my anxiety wasn't too bad, which was really quite nice and refreshing, although I could not get to sleep last night, so I'm so tired. It literally took me about 3 hours after going to bed to get to sleep, so less anxiety but more like buzzy bees in the brain. Anyway, if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!